Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I am excited for this video. We are back on the air dry clay. Guys, if you've been with me a while, you know, but if you are new here, I already have several videos on my channel, including air dry clay tree hanging gnomes. We have larger gnomes. We also have wizards that we made like 2 Halloweens ago. We also have these. This was my most popular video where we did embossed air dry clay for trees and also some candle surrounds. So I'm in love with air dry clay, but also handmade with love, not perfection, because I'm definitely not a professional at this. In this video, we are making gift tags. So we're making giant gift tags that can then be doubled up as tree decorations and paint your own. So we make the tag, we write the tag, we put it on our gifts, we send it off to its new home. They can then either paint the gift tag or just hang it on the tree as is. So it's like a 3-way idea to use with air dry clay. We are using these stamps. Now, oh my gosh, if you remember the video, I used these stamps in Jesmonite. Guys, look at these gnomes, they're so cute. These are your scrapbooking, card making kind of ink stamps. And as we all know, they work beautifully in resin, epoxy resin and Jesmonite, but I figured we'd get them back out for the air dry clay because I did buy the gnomes specifically for this video. Now, I only have a few real basic clay tools. I don't have everything I could possibly need. I'm using a clay rolling pin, I'm using cookie cutters, and also this acrylic block is not actually designed for stamps. It's just a block that I had Lothian Woodworks cut for me. I was going to make a silicone mould and I didn't. I haven't got around to it. And I thought I need an acrylic block for these stamps. And oh yeah, I've got this one. So again, it's not the right acrylic block, but it will do because it's all we have. And it's good to use what you have, including this air dry clay. This air dry clay is actually DAS, D-A-S, air dry clay. I highly recommend it, but I was down to my last little bit of clay and it was so dry, and you'll be able to see that in the video. It was so dry, but do you know what? It was usable, and if it's usable, we're gonna use it. So all I'm doing here is I am rolling out my clay really quite thinly. We're talking gift tag quite thin. We're not really going for the chunky chunk. I'm rolling it out really thinly. If you wanted to, you could use 2 height space dividers so that you've got a beautifully even roll, depending on what you're doing with it afterwards. But for me, these are just handmade gift tags that I'm going to be using, so I really wasn't too fussed about getting the depth totally okay throughout. Because, yeah, handmade with love, guys. Handmade with love. And also it's so much more relaxing when you just go with the flow and, you know, you don't have too many rules. I love that most. I love that the most. And once I've rolled it out, I'm embossing my image. And the gnomes are so cute. I love them so much. I can't cope. And then simply cutting it out with my cookie cutter. If you are wondering what surface I'm using, like I said, I don't have all of the professional tools. I am using a glass worktop saver. So downstairs in my kitchen, right by my kettle, we've got a clear glass worktop saver that we make our cups of tea on. And that is what I'm using. I've just put some Christmas paper underneath to make it look super festive in the video. And yeah, like I said, you just use what you have. Just use what you have. I am adding a little bit of water to the surface. You don't want to add too much water because that can really aid in the cracking of your air dry clay over time if there's too much water in it. So I really just added a small amount of water to try and smooth out the surface as much as possible. But if you've been with me a while, you really will know that I don't spend too much time doing that. Like, I wouldn't spend hours trying to smooth out the surface of something that is totally handmade. And also, once they are dry, we can sand them down anyway. So again, you just do what you got to do with what you've got at the time. A little bit of water on my finger and it's on to the next one. I will say one thing. Because I'm filming in one space, I'm filming directly down onto my worktop, once I've cut these out, I am actually picking them up and I'm moving them up over the board. So I'm spreading them out across the board. That is not ideal. That is not ideal. You really want to try and not move them so much, but also if you had a clay blade, so I know especially with things like polymer clay, air dry clay, you can actually carve it off your surface with a blade. It would do a lot less damage, whereas because I don't have all them things, I am literally just here enjoying the therapy that is air dry clay, and I'm just lifting them up. I'm just lifting them up, moving them out of the way, getting ready for the next piece to go down. So like I say, not a professional. In an ideal world, you would keep it either in the same place or you would use the correct tools to move your piece out of the way, especially if you are going on to sell, craft markets, Etsy, whatever it is you're planning on doing with your air dry clay pieces. Really depends on how much time you want to put into it, because for me, yeah, no. I have to say, this afternoon, I actually, not this afternoon as in today, but the afternoon of which I filmed this, which was ages ago now, because this clay takes ages to dry, I just sat down with my glass board, my paper underneath, which looked super cute in the camera lens, and I played Christmas music, and I just cannot tell you how I had the most relaxing hour that I had had all week. All week. There's no stress when it comes to air dry clay, again, depending on what you're making. But for me, it's a stress-free, creative activity. Put your music on, grab a cup of tea. You can literally drink a cup of tea because you know with epoxy resin, you've got your mask on, it's PPE, it's, you know, it's not stressful, but there's so much you can't do while you're doing resin. With air dry clay, you could literally be snacking on a biscuit, like with your clay hands. So yeah, it's the most relaxing craft I think anyone can do at Christmas, and it's just so therapeutic. That's all I've got to say on the matter. Yeah, therapy. Get a nice hot chocolate, cup of tea, Christmas music, a little bit of water in a cup to be able to smooth your surfaces down. Don't mix up your tea with your clay water because that would not be fun. Other than that, yeah. Sky's the limit, no rules, have fun. So as you've been seeing, I've simply been rolling my clay out each and every time, embossing it with the stamp of choice. Now this one here, I was thinking, I'm going to leave it super simple. I'm just going to have let it snow in the middle. It's going to be a minimalist, you know, real minimalist. And then I couldn't bring myself to having such a plain bauble when I've got all these magnificent stamps. So yeah, I had to go around all of the edges with my gorgeous miniature snowflake stamp before cutting it out. And I'm glad I made that decision because it's so pretty. Really, really love it. Peeling away the excess again, adding a little bit of water to the edge and the tops and the sides, because the sides do get quite kind of, not smushed, mushed. When you cut with the cookie cutter, the sides get smushed. So I do like to go around with a little bit of water on my finger and just smooth those edges out. But again, once dried, we can sand these down anyway. We can sand down any imperfections. So it's all okay. There's no stress here. There's nothing to worry about. I had to use this one again. This is the stamp that did go into the Jesmonite, and so happy with it. Now I'm using a paper straw just to cut out all of these loops that my ribbon will go through once these things are dried. And honestly, usually the clay comes straight out, and the reason it's not coming straight out of this one is because I haven't moved this one. This one is still very much rolled onto the glass. So yeah, it doesn't come out so easily when you do it like this, but because with the other ones I've actually moved them to a separate area on the glass, once I use the straw, they come out like a dream. And all you have to do then is get a little bit of water on the tip of your finger and just go back over this space and just smooth it back down, and Bob's your uncle. Like, it couldn't be any more easy. But you can see on this one that, yeah, that came out like a dream, because these ones have all been moved from their original position and smoothed over with water, smoothed all around the edges just to try and get them back to the shape they were once in. But like I said, it's not ideal to have to move all of your pieces, but I mean, it is what it is, and it's a handmade craft, and I love them. I love them so much. Let me know in the comment section if you are still here. We're nearly 10 minutes in, so massive thank you. Let me know in the comment section if you have done any air dry clay work, because if you haven't, I can fully recommend it just for pure, and I mean pure, relaxation. It doesn't get any more relaxing than air dry clay, and I honestly cannot recommend it enough. Look at these guys, they're so cute. They're so cute. I think I might put that on the gift to my sister and her husband because it's just like two of them together. So cute. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with these. I could have gone on. Could have gone on for hours. If I had enough clay, I could have. A whopping 6 days later. Now, listen, air dry clay has a con. There's pros and cons to everything. The big con of air dry clay is the dry time, but it's worth it. It's worth every single day that you wait. Now, because I'm using these on a glass worktop saver, they pop away from the glass. So if anyone's wondering if they will get stuck, they don't get stuck. Once they dry thoroughly, completely and utterly, they just naturally pop off the glass. So what you will be left with, like I said earlier, are these rough edges. And now because they are completely dry after a whopping 6 days, every day I was checking, like, are you dry yet? They might dry on other surfaces. You could put them on wood. You could put, I don't know. Could you put them on wood? I don't know. I'm not a professional. You could put them on a tea towel. Even if you put them near a radiator, near some heat, they might crack though. That's the thing. If they dry prematurely, if they dry too fast, then they also might crack. So you have to kind of weigh up. How much time have you got? and what do you want the end result to look like? For me, there was no pressure. There was no rush. I just kept them on the glass board in the spare room and let them just dry out completely naturally. And that took 6 days. Look how thin these are. These are so thin and they took 6 days. I have had people tell me that their air dry clay dries in 2 days. I'm like, how? How? Tell me how. But I absolutely love them. I just use a super high grit, which is like a 1500 grit. I don't add water because I don't want to put water back into the clay. And I'm just going around all of those edges. They're not sharp. It's not like resin or jesmonite. It won't cut you, but I just want to neaten them up. Now, at this stage, if you wanted to, before you use them as gift tags, you could spray paint them or paint them with acrylic paint. Acrylic works beautifully on air dry clay, but I'm going to leave them as is. I absolutely love them in their natural, organic, handmade state. This screams someone made this. If you're wondering about pen, you can go ahead. You can either use pencil, felt tip pen, but like here I'm showing you, just using a really simple biro works a dream. You can put, you know, your message at the top, lots of love from, etc., etc. And then it becomes the tree bauble. And I'm really only saying that I'm making it for this intention. Like, if I find out that my sister didn't then use it as a tree bauble, I will go and I'll take it back. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm finishing them all off with ribbon. Finish them as you wish. I think that red and white candy cane stripe string would look beautiful on these as well. But just keeping in mind the simplicity of everything, you might not necessarily know the colour scheme of the people you're sending it to. I'm just using white ribbon for the sake of the gift. And that is all. I'm just folding my ribbon in half, threading it through, grabbing the loop and pulling back through the other two strands. And what you could do here is just bear in mind you're using it for a gift, which you then want to have it used as a tree decoration. Make sure you've got enough ribbon for that, because for me, if I'm just using it as a gift tag, I'll only cut a little bit of ribbon, won't necessarily cut too much. But yeah, so just all these little factors to bear in mind. I honestly cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this one. A whole hour, 2 hours, just sitting, relaxing, listening to Christmas music, drinking my tea, and just relaxing. It's almost like decompression, like all the way it goes, because you don't have to be anywhere. You can just be right there, just you and the clay, relaxing, having fun. And that, for me, that's therapy. No price can be put on that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I truly love air dry clay. If you are new to my channel and you are still here, I massively appreciate you. Thank you so much. I reached 75,000 subscribers yesterday. I cannot quite believe how quick. I think it's been like 6 weeks between 70 and 75k, which is super fast for my channel. It really has not been that fast for quite a while. So massive thank you to all of my new friends on here. If you are still here at this point, and you want to learn more about air dry, I want to say learn because I'm not a very good teacher, but if you want to see more air dry clay, what you can do with it, then I have so many videos on my channel using air dry clay in so many fun ways, especially that embossing video from last year or the year before. Super popular was that video, so I will link that at the end. I'm going to link it on this screen at the end of the video, and if you want to do more air dry clay tree decorations, I fully recommend you click on that video and go and watch it, because that is one of my absolute favorite videos. But also it's just packed with ideas, but also packed with Christmas music. So let's just all get festive. This makes me want to go and eat a Terry's chocolate orange, and I don't even have a Terry's chocolate orange. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you've taken away something from this, any little bit of inspiration to use air dry clay for any reason whatsoever, because you can. Because you can. Enjoy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday.